European Mobility Week starts tomorrow with this year's theme, Smart and Sustainable Mobility, an Investment for Europe. Locally, the In Town Without My Car initiative hopes to paint a picture of a cleaner, less congested Gibraltar, with the aim of making this a reality.
What we're really doing is we're encouraging people to come down and experience what is normally an area of heavy traffic in a very different way. So the road is going to be closed from the traffic lights here by the Haven all the way down to Referendum Gate. We're going to have a number of activities in the area. There's going to be a bouncy castle, face painting, a treasure hunt, a cycle course with the RGP. But primarily what we're asking people to do is to think about coming down, either walking, bringing their bicycles, using the bus and experiencing Gibraltar streets in a different way. And throughout the week, in fact, we're just asking people to think about the way they travel and to just take that pause, before picking up the car keys and think, do I really need to use the car for this particular journey? And if even one journey this week you make in a different way, then that's a step forward.
Traffic and parking problems have been highlighted only this week. Is this a message that's getting through at all here?
I think it's a message that is getting through insofar as people recognise that traffic is a problem. I think there's a slight disconnect between people recognising that they are also a part of the problem because we use our cars so frequently, So I think it's going to take time because we're all quite attached to the cars, and it's a habit that's hard to break because it's been formed over many years, and people have a sort of quite an emotional attachment to their cars. But I think that slowly but surely events like this and sort of other initiatives that the government is taking are helping to make small changes that will hopefully get us to where we want to be.
Are Gibraltar's alternative forms of transport adequate in your view in terms of buses and provision for cyclists?
I think it's difficult in Gibraltar because we do have very limited road space. So with the buses, for example, one of the frequent complaints is that they don't run on time. And the problem is that the bus is running in the same road as the traffic. So if the bus is stuck in traffic, there's not a great deal it can do. And likewise, in terms of cycle lanes, there's really not enough space to have cycle lanes as a separate lane to car lanes like you have in other parts of the world. So I think it's fair to say that we're working within fairly constrained circumstances, and clearly there is more that could be done. In terms of maybe cycle priority lanes and having more frequent buses, and these are things that the government is looking into. But I think people also need to recognise that if you think about the amount of space that each single person in a car takes up on the road, and you took those people and put them either on a bus or on a bicycle, you would be freeing up a considerable amount of road space, and that then everybody could move more freely. So I think it's a question of trying to shift people from the private car to a public transport, walking or cycling. Because in Gibraltar, the traffic study has shown that 61% of the journeys that we take are actually single occupancy car trips, and those are particularly the ones that we have to try and tackle, because a single person can often get to where they need to be in a more effective way.
You've highlighted single occupancy journeys. Is carpooling an idea that could catch on at all?
I think it could be, because it's clear that people are moving, they're moving from the south to the north and vice versa, and so there's obviously a movement of people in the similar directions at similar times of day. I think it's just a question of sort of formalising it, and I think making use of increasing information technology in order to have apps available that allow you to see when someone is moving in your direction. And I think it's something that's been slow to take off in Gibraltar, but I think that it's something that could definitely work here.
Car pollution means having to breathe contaminated air, harming the environment and contributing to climate change, not to mention the noise and frustration of traffic jams. With the ROC having one of the highest per capita car ownership rates in the world, it may be time to start going that extra mile instead.